All right, guys, it's Joey here with Dixie Doggers. We came over to a buddy of mine's today, check out some of his dogs, and this is a little bit off of the typical stuff that we do, but it correlates with the stuff that we do also, because this is more a little history lesson on some of the old game dogs and some of the newer game stock. I've been knowing, this is Charlie Frost over here, been knowing Charlie for quite a few years. He introduced me to Mr. Rocky here, and we hit it off pretty good, and he's got a wealth of knowledge. Between these two guys, they probably got about 5 times more knowledge than I got on any of it. So what we're going to discuss is some bloodlines, sizes of dogs, structures of dogs, what to look for, how they work, what they like in them, what they don't like in them, and then we're going to tell a few stories. Any of the stories that we tell that have anything to do with what you think it has to do with are nothing that's happening in present day at all. So, just keep that in mind. Like I said, there's stories about our lives and how we grew up and stuff, what our daddies and our grandpas and stuff done. I've had a lot of requests for people to get into bloodlines and game dogs and stuff, so we're going to give y'all a little bit of what you want. Mr. Rocky, introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about it, how long you've been in the dog game, and what you like and what you look for.
My name's Rocky Reed. I run standalone kennels. I've been raising bulldogs for, I'm 40 now. I don't remember a day goes by that I didn't see a bulldog on my yard. My daddy raised them. My granddaddy raised them. Had a lot of good bloodlines. Some of them I don't even remember. I was just too young to know. And like I said, I've been in for a long time. I've seen a lot of good ones come. I've seen a lot of good ones go. I don't know how to get out of it. I've
been trying to get out of it for 10 years, and I can't get out of it.
Last year I told myself, I said, well, I'm gonna sell off. I said, I ain't gonna keep about 1 or 2 of these.
Yeah.
I sold 5, 6 of them. Mm-hmm. Dog parts all over the country. And when I did, look up, I see a dog I want. Sitting out that money for it. That's the bloodline right there. That's what I need. That's gonna top off my. That's what's gonna put me where I want to be at.
Exactly.
And will it? I don't know. Maybe.
Gotta give it a chance.
Yeah, but I think that's what a lot of old timers doing. They just seen something they like.
It's the investment.
And when they seen they seen what they liked, they just they went with that. And if it didn't turn out for them, then they say, okay, we'll go another way. But we talk about men that had 40, 30 years into this.
Exactly.
They had a
lot of time into it.
So I say I've been in it all my life, and that, trying to brag and stuff like that. But really, you think about it, I was a kid first, and I didn't. So I'm 40 now. 15 years.
Yeah.
20 years, because I didn't know what Daddy had.
Didn't know what they had.
I didn't know what they had, or I didn't know what they was capable of.
Yeah.
And to me, I look at it as it's a sport.
Yeah.
It's a sport. If you run out through there and you take something out there, to me, when I see that dog, I look at it just like the old Romans did. They looked at them as gladiators.
Exactly.
It's a gladiator to me. And I want him to be in the best shape of his life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he eats better than I do on some days. Some days I'm backing on, I ain't even hungry. I don't care if he's hungry or not, his pan's full.
Exactly. That's the biggest misconception as far as with the game dogs and stuff is, like we were talking about this a little bit before we got on camera. It's people think that when the guys that match dogs beforehand, years before, they just took these dogs and just threw them a little scrap out there every now and then. Them dogs looked all skinny and all that. That's not true. Them dogs were in shape. You take a 38-pound dog on the chain, and when you get him through his keep and he weighs 33 pounds, he is slim trim, and ready to go. It's just like UFC or a bodybuilder. You take a bodybuilder, 300 pounds, and then when you get them all cut down, that's what they done.
Yeah, he lost 25 pounds. He's ripped. He ain't got no. You losing hydration. You dehydrating them down. I mean, you make it on a machine.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're doing.
The thing about it is you still have to correlate some of that. They did that whole thing to take dogs and to utilize them for a match. You know, now people you can't do that. So, but you still have to keep your dogs up.
Yeah,
I mean, I have treadmills, float poles, spring poles. Anybody that's worth their salt. I mean, even guys that have the 3XL bully dogs.
they got some kind of exercise.
They run treadmills, they run all the stuff and all that stuff. So
keeps for weight pools though.
yeah, weight pools and all that stuff.
Well, they got treadmill
You
races
see this
now.
treadmill here? That's what it's for. Is to keep the dog in shape. It's not for any other purposes like that.
No,
what
it's
we're
not for no
talking about,
illegal
you know.
purposes. These dogs have got a drive second to none. I mean, and
You got to channel it.
and it's you put that focus and all that energy into, and you got a bulldog.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just the bottom line. You got a bulldog, and
It has a lot to do with the handler too.
Introduce yourself, Charlie. Tell them a
I'm
little bit
Charlie.
about you.
My daddy raised dogs from the time I was old enough to walk till I was grown, till he passed away. Had dogs out of Louisiana. We had dogs out of South Carolina. Some
Yeah.
dogs come out of Georgia. We travel to go get dogs.
Yeah.
North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. We go to Tennessee. We went as far as Oklahoma one time, I think.
Yeah.
But we go get dogs, and my daddy raised them up, and I mean, for his own use.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was times that.
But now, how many years ago we're talking about this, Charlie? When your daddy was raising?
Oh man, I'm 38 now, so I mean, we
same
talking
thing like
12, 13, 14, 15-year-old is whenever I.
So
actually
you're
started
looking at
realizing-
least
20 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah,
See
20
that?
years,
So
yeah.
people listen before the
Before-
comments get me like these are dog fight. No,
Let's-
that's bullshit. Let's get that out
Let
the
me
way.
express one thing now. Everything that's being spoke about as of right this minute from here forward is past tense.
This is education purposes, and a lot, like I said, and that doesn't mean that we're 100% right. This is just us.
this is
This
just
is
our
our-
We're just
conversation.
conversation. So that's what.
Y'all basically the fly on the wall.
Yeah, we're just sitting around. This is kind of what guys do when they get around dogs. Like I said, this is the first time I've come over and met with Rocky. I talked to him on the phone, checked his yard out, looked at his dogs, and I mean, let me tell you, you got some machines. I mean, they look like gladiators. They are great looking dogs. If other people took care of their dogs like game men do, like dog men that have game dogs, shit,
Yeah,
you'd
it
see-
wouldn't be such a
yeah,
problem.
you wouldn't have a bunch of strays that's out here starving to
Yeah,
death.
you bet
See,
you.
they've got a stereotype on it. To correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and their brother thinks that every dog man is out there trying to match something, or he's out there trying to do something.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
But at the same time, they put that same stereotype because of like the media and the publicity that they put on somebody that say
Fake news.
fake news. Say they do get caught. Say somebody does get caught.
And it does still happen.
30 or 40 dogs on their yard. First thing they're gonna do is he's fighting dogs.
Yeah,
and he could be having them dogs for multiple purposes: weight pulling,
Hog
catching,
Hog
bay pen. You know, it could happen for just about anything. But the first thing they run to is the dog game.
Mhm.
And you was talking about like bait pens. A lot of people, you look at a bulldog and you're like, that dog that ain't a bay dog.
You're wrong.
Cody Fritz out of Texas. I've watched that joker win. I'm talking about win a bay, a 2-minute bay, go into a 4-minute bay off, and then say, catch him. That's because these dogs, their intelligence level is on another level than most dogs.
That's like you say the intelligence level. I say the loyalty level also.
Oh, it's out. That ain't
You
no
can't-
other level. To me, that's it.
No.
You can't find, in my opinion, you can't find a dog that's more loyal. Because everything that you're seeing on the news and all this, these dogs are loyal to their owner. But it's
Yes.
also how they're brought up. Because
Exactly.
if you raise that dog to where you are the alpha, to where that dog knows you as the alpha,
Yes.
when you tell him something, he's going to cur out. He's going to correct himself. Am I wrong?
Yep.
He's got to know that you are the alpha.
Yeah.
I see.
And that doesn't mean you got to whoop his ass and all that
That's
stuff.
right.
You
No.
just establish that pecking order just like they would in the wild, like with coyotes or wolves or foxes or anything.
Well, y'all seen I had that stick in my hand a while ago, and that dog had a pretty good bite on that stick.
Yeah.
And I told him stop and let it go. He turned it loose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, immediate. You said let it go. And
That takes time.
that red dog I got at the house, Lily, I mean, I've got old videos and stuff, and she's just an old hog dog. And we went, and Johanny Gomez, which is he does bite work, catch work. He's a canine conditioner. I mean, this is a dog man, and he started catching her for me, and he couldn't believe it. He said, "This is a hog dog." She'd be on the sleeve. He'd slip her the sleeve. I'd walk up, and she'd let go of the sleeve and go over and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
That's American Pit Bull Terrier. That's what they are, man.
That's what they are.
That's what they are. They got sense and intelligence. I mean, original babysitters.
Yeah, they call them nannies.
Yeah, the nanny dogs.
President, what's his name, had one in the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eisenhower, I think it was.
yeah,
I could be wrong.
I think it was Eisenhower.
I ain't sure.
I'm not
I
even
wonder
sure.
how many presidents actually own them. I bet Joe Biden don't.
I bet he don't.
He got them German Shepherds, don't he?
He's got some dogs. Yeah, man. Yeah, something.
As Obama had Labradoodle.
I don't know what he's got.
Well, they had kinky hair anyway.
He got something that might fetch his slippers.
So how come the red boy dog never made champion? Anybody got any idea?
I don't think he was campaigned right.
Man, like I said, going down through just from what I know and what I've been told, it's all, from older guys. My uncle, he's to me, he's the game dog king, and everybody's got that one in their life that they look up to, and I've been around it a lot, and I just heard that he was just more of a soft-mouthed dog and didn't have the bite. But I mean, everything that they put him with when they come back out and they crossed anything out of that red boy stuff into the yellow John, Jocko stuff, it started producing hard dogs.
Yeah.
And so that's why the red boy line is so
why it's sought after.
Yeah, it's sought after. It put a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the red boy dog itself lacked some. And I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't know.
But like you said, it's like if he was
I think if he was pushing a little harder, I think if he was campaigning a little differently, I think he may have went similar to Jeep.
Yeah.
The Jeep dog, you hear everybody talk about the Jeep dog, Jeep this, Jeep that.
Yeah.
Clarify one thing.
Look how many times he was bred.
Yeah.
You're bred that many.
Top producer.
If you're the top producer, you're going to have more champions come out of you, theoretically. Anyway.
He's bred 50 plus Jeeps.
Yeah.
Way up there.
Ain't no telling how many.
It's like I got a Hopper's Outlaw dog back here. He's a grand champion.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a 7-time winner, and he wasn't bred very much. He didn't live a long life. And he's coming down pretty much just the same way as the Jeep dog. His his grandmother was Honey Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was, instead of being bred to Finley's Bow, he was bred to Rascal.
Yes.
And Rascal was a grand champion. I mean, I think
Rascal was 6, wasn't he?
He was 8 and 1.
8.
8 and 1. He lost 1.
I thought it was 6.
So they took his grand champion away from him.
Okay, yeah,
Because he lost that 1. But in my eyes, man, I mean, they got different rules, but if you got a dog that's won 6 straight, man, I don't see taking his title.
No.
I don't see.
He earned it.
He earned it.
I mean, he couldn't be undefeated, but he made his champion title.
That's right.
If he made his champion before he turned it, before he bowed out, however it went, I wasn't there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if he's already made that, how you gonna take it from him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm getting at?
But there's different.
What kind of bloodlines that are alive and well today that are being produced still off that you favor more, like we was talking about earlier, like the Mayday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Garner, he's still producing stuff out of off the Mayday line and the Frisco, stuff like that. And
I've got some old Mayday stuff. I like it. I've got some old Frisco stuff. That Jip down there, that crazy-eyed Jip.
Yeah.
Her daddy was Chinaman coming down Frisco, pretty much coming to Boudreaux dog.
Yeah.
Pretty much had a touch of Sorrells in it, old Bert Sorrells.
Yeah.
Had a touch of that in there. But them Sorrell dogs, they made big dogs. They was big dogs.
Yeah.
They's heavy dogs. And back then, I mean, they didn't care to get in there.
Explain heavy dogs 30 years ago.
Let's get into this. We got it. Me and you got it.
Let's explain a heavy dog 30 years ago, or well, say 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were younger, teenagers and stuff, that dogs that we seen, put our hands on. What was a heavy dog? Not
42 to 44, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was real.
I'd
heavy.
say 50 would be
50.
Would be at the very top.
I got that female down there. She's 48 pounds. I promise you, she's 48 pounds. Is it all fat? No, it's not all fat. But she got a head that weighs 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And muscle weighs a lot more than fat does.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
And Yeah, 50 pounds. Well, you know, the Mayday dog, he was campaigned at all catch weight.
Mm-hmm.
He was a catch weight dog. He was 50. He never got under 55 pounds.
Explain what catch weight is. To some of the people.
That's what I was wanting
50,
to get into.
Yeah.
55, anything 55 and over is catch weight. I mean, if you 55 and over, do they still do it like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't know.
I don't
We
know.
ain't involved in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know anybody that does that or why why they would do it.
Let them know
have
this,
no reason.
Let them know this too. There's also a difference between chain weight and catch
condition.
weight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
condition weight.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's 3 different topics you're talking about there. Condition weight is you that's the day of, you ready. Chain weight is I'm walking out here and I'm putting feed in the pan, water in the pan. I'm coming out here petting him and rolling with him and just playing with him. That's he's on the chain. That's called chain weight.
Yeah.
Now catch weight, he can still be on the chain, you know, but he's just a big dog.
He's just bigger than the average.
If you like smaller dogs, I mean, if you got a big stud, if you put him to a smaller jip, is they all gonna come out big? No. I mean, because
they're not a formulated breed.
no, they're not.
That's the deal with the real American Pit Bull Terrier. You got a litter of pups out there that's got 5 different colors in it.
You betcha.
And the parents might be the same as that color. Both of them might be chocolate dogs with a little bit of white trim.
Mm-hmm.
Puppies come out white with black spots.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, is there something in the wood pile? No.
No.
That means that they're not a formulated dog. Means that the dogs all look the same. They're all approximately the same height, the same weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our Yak Terriers and stuff like that. German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Beagles, pretty much everything except except that Catahoulas are you know they're not as bad, but most of them are formulated for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that means that those dogs were all bred identical to be identical.
Yeah.
Which the American Pit Bull Terrier is not.
They're not. They're just.
And that doesn't mean they're scatterbred or bred bad.
They're just. They'll pull genes from
their original
ancestors.
genetics.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they'll pull genes from 4 generations back. And as far as I know, I don't know much about DNA, but you know, they're just a product of their DNA.
Yeah.
And that DNA may come from their granddaddy. It may come from their great granddaddy. They may get a little bit on their daddy's side from their great granddaddy, and then pull all the other stuff from the mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a black dog. Black is bad. It's what would you call it? I don't think it's recessive. It's real dominant.
Yeah.
It's a dominant
It's
gene.
a dominant gene. Like red.
Yeah.
It's a dominant gene.
It is.
I got 2 red dogs I'm going to put together, and when I put them together, I'm expecting a lot of red dogs out of this.
Yeah.
And
when you say put together, you mean breeding wise.
oh yeah, I'm gonna put 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. On a lot of this stuff that we're doing now, it's you know a lot of people they don't know what a lot of these terms mean.
yeah,
The terminology. Not that they don't know anything about dogs. They just
yeah.
and there's a lot of guys that are into hog hunting. Man, I've seen some pedigrees on their dogs. I'm like, dude, you got this and you're using it for a catch dog, you know?
Yeah.
You could be breeding that dog and
Making money.
and making some serious money with it, but they're not interested in that. They want it, you know, it's for
They wanted that. They wanted the
But they-
dog for the hog.
they like the game stuff, the game stock or the game bloodlines because
I think it's because of the drive.
the drive. There's no other drive. Then you get a lot of these bigger bulldogs, the bullies types and the XL
the
Lords and all
XL, 2
that.
X's. And,
They have a lot of drive and stuff. The blue dogs, there's some of them that's got a lot of drive and stuff to it, but I don't know. It's just a little different. I don't
Rocky, help me clarify something real quick. In these dogs we talking about, you got bloodlines, and then you got some folks out here that ain't been around it as much as we have, ain't been around it as much as certain individuals have, and they start talking about gator mouth, blue nose, new family red nose.
Now they're saying there really is a blue nose. I started reading on this.
I tried to find it the other
They
night.
said how to tell if your dog is a blue nose.
Are we talking? Is this in the XL situation?
It's in a whole different
I mean,
category, different category.
is it running the Staffordshire? What do you think?
well,
Ain't no blue nose, no staffies.
I hadn't seen. I never personally heard of it.
as far as I know, I ain't never heard of I've heard a lot of people just say gator mouth, and what gator mouth you talking about? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because there was dogs named Gator.
And
There was a couple, Plumber's Gator.
well, you got your and he wasn't even called. He was alligator.
Talking about 90% of them bloodlines come from their name.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, so if you got a dog that's bred, say his mama is bred out of, say, let's just say Jeep, because
Yeah.
everybody knows that
Yeah,
dog.
you know the
Yeah.
Jeep stuff.
Everybody knows that. Say a
Yeah.
dog's bred to Jeep and to Gator.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that dog may not be straight off a Jeep.
No.
His
It's off
mama
that
could
lineage.
be. His mama could be Susie Q from
Yeah.
over that way, and his daddy could be Samson's Gator from over this way.
Exactly.
And there's no, I mean, for somebody to say they've got a Jeep on top and a Gator on bottom, there's no telling exactly where that's coming
there's
from.
no telling
What
where-
you're doing is you're putting those two lines
Yep.
that came out of that dog together.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, like with Jeep, he came out of another line before him.
Yeah, before him.
And then that's just lineage. That's just the lineage. And everybody, you know, like you said, they say, well, I got this bloodline, this dog's out of Jeep. No, out of Jeep means
Out of Jeep.
out of him. That
And that's-
Jeep produced that dog, and that you're not gonna have any that produce.
Yeah, that's
Very few ever.
it's very
Yeah.
far few and in between, and if it is, it's probably a frozen.
Yeah, it's a
probably
semen dog.
yeah, it's a semen dog.
oh,
So how we looking on time on that? We're still good. Okay.
you know, I didn't.
Don't
One
talk
thing
over
I
it.
don't
My
understand.
cameraman's bad news, boys.
Oh, it's like a lot of the old timers. They say if one of them ever quit on them, they wouldn't breed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know the Jeep dog, Finley's Bo, his daddy.
Yep.
He's 3-time winner, 1-time loss. Was Jeep produced before his loss or after,
Or after
his loss?
Yeah, because if he
Where-
lost,
where'd he
well,
come from?
How'd you breed to him?
Yeah,
Why did you
exactly.
breed to him?
Yeah, where'd he
Oh,
come from?
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people say, well, I don't breed to a quitter. I don't care what dog you've got, what bloodline you got. There is a breaking point. There is a breaking point,
Exactly.
and it's every dog for is today's his day or today's not his day.
Yeah. I mean, everybody loses.
That's right.
Some form of fat, and the ones that did not lose on paper,
Yeah.
That may
It's
only be
because
on
they-
paper.
that might be only on paper. And then again, it could be because they're like, hey, we didn't make grand champ. Let's just quit.
Well, we're
Yeah,
stopping
study
right
them
here. We
Yeah.
we come
Like
we
I said,
done when
the misconception of they were fought to the death, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's-
well, there had, I'm sure at some time there was death that resulted from injuries, but most of the time it wasn't just like they went in there and just killed each other.
Mm-mm.
These dogs, they couldn't have produced
What
hundreds of puppies if they were
Dead.
Dead.
I mean, come on,
Yeah.
and dead. Let's get the dead game.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
All right, we got to
Hold on, before we get to that, let's get to this right here. Because there's a misconception about dog men. And it goes back to that, to where they roll them until they die. Any dog man worth his salt that sees a dog that is outclassed, in my opinion, will pick that dog up to save what he's got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you got good stuff,
you see these videos on YouTube of these young people, different places. I don't know where they're at. I watched several videos of them doing nonsense in basements and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the dog's gone.
Yeah.
Dog gone. Let's say that.
Yep.
All right. That's not dog men.
No,
That's just
idiots
That's just people that have
that had
bought
dogs.
a dog
Yep.
and think they have something.
And they probably did not raise that dog
They
and
didn't.
train that dog, work that
Exactly.
dog. They just bought it, give a couple $100 for it, and moved on. Give a few $1,000s for a good one, and then see how much you care about that dog.
Yeah, like you said, give a few thousand for it. And man, I've
Yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff, like I said, and we're not going to get on here and say more than we need to say. Everybody knows that's out there. If you're watching, you're a dog person yourself. You're a dog man or dog woman. There've been a lot of women in the game that was
Yeah, that was not even recognized. It should have been
and they
recognized.
should have been.
yes, sir.
Little La Pose stuff, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Let's get in this.
Well, you know when Bert and his wife, I can't recall her name, when they separated, they split the dogs.
Yeah.
They split dogs, and he took his to this bloodline, and she took hers to this bloodline.
Mhm.
She thought she would get better results.
And was
And
throwing champions
who
out.
knows? They could have split on account of that reason. Maybe
Yeah.
she wanted to
She
go.
might have been a better dog man. than
Hey,
you.
maybe.
I ain't saying it for a lot. I don't know.
Hey, we speculating here. We speculating.
Stuff that they're put in there, so people understand what they're really used for.
Like a racehorse.
Yeah.
You bet. You bet.
It's just like a racehorse.
You
Look
bet.
at these racehorses.
Do you realize how many horses have died
Oh,
racing?
man. We don't hear about it.
Right after a horse. Nobody ever hears about it.
You don't hear about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I done some research on that. You
But
know,
a lot of them do.
a lot of them die. You know, the heart
races.
explode. I mean, ain't no telling how many's hit the track, and you know, we'll dig a hole.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
that,
it.
I
Just
mean,
move on
we'll
about it.
move on. That's not illegal though, because I think see when you get in a horse race, then you know
It's a higher class of
it's
individuals.
a higher class of
Yeah, it is.
individuals,
And used to dog men were a higher class of individuals.
Very high class.
It wasn't all this trailer trash, trailer park shit. Had a
No,
bunch of idiots
shit going
over
on
there,
in
like you
basements
said,
and-
throwing them in a basement or out in the middle of nowhere. It was gentlemen that went in the Mr. Colby,
Yep.
Mr. Tudor.
Yep.
Clyde Mason.
These
Yep.
guys were going in this stuff and putting down money that we put down today, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The type of money that
the equivalent of it.
the equivalent of it,
Yeah.
and man, it was a whole nother deal, a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And that lasted all the way up through the 70s and into the 80s.
Yeah,
And then it just kind of went to shit.
from 19. I mean, it finally. I think they passed that act in '77.
Yeah.
Is when they passed the act that made it a federal offense to max game dogs. But until '77, the only thing illegal about it was the gambling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, the only reason that was illegal because the government couldn't get their little change
It wasn't
out
regulated. It's just like marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's been illegal for years in a lot of places, and now they're like, hey, now we can regulate it,
Yeah, yeah.
and they can get their piece of it too.
Yeah, as
No,
long
hey,
as they
that's
get-
fine.
As long as they can get a piece of the pie, they because
Well,
they don't care about that dog.
We just got a new bill passed in Alabama about being able to shoot hogs and coyotes at night.
Yeah.
See, before we couldn't do it. Now, years ago, you could do whatever you wanted to do with the wild hogs. No regulations at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like 2015, I believe, and that might not be 100% on it, but I think it was in 2015 where it started changing everything. Then they made it illegal. You couldn't have a live hog. You couldn't do anything with it. You can't have one in possession. You got to dispatch it upon. As soon as you put your hands on it. But now we passed the bill, $15.
Mm-hmm.
All right, $15, man. You pay that. Now we got a whole nother season from February the 11th to November the 1st. That's how easy it is to regulate stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, even with the gambling part, of course, you're not going to get all of it. There's going to be guys that's going to be night hunting. They're going to night hunt deer, coon, possums, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the game warden's not going to check them, so how do they ever really know? Yes. I watched a dog like that little one out there playing, puppy, man, licking on you and stuff. And the dog just like
His eyes, his colors of his eyes have changed.
The dog
It's
will
a total.
literally
It's
turn into another
dog. I used to have.
That's a sweet. Yeah, that's my answer. That's what I'm saying. Make sure we're in the same.
Yes, sir.
terminology.
We had old bulldogs. She was just old yard dog. I
Make it
couldn't.
turning on. Okay.
When you're talking about.
I
yeah,
couldn't
this
tell you how she's bred. She was actually give to us. She run loose on the yard, so she'd hit everything. And the other dogs know that she was the king of the yard, queen of the yard. But if a stray come down the road there, she'd hit it too. And she tried to drag that son under the trailer, so you couldn't get her off of it.
Yeah.
She's
That's
smart.
that intelligence in there.
Yeah, and but one day you could look at her eyes. She had green eyes, but or hazel or whatever you call. But once that switch flipped, it was a blood hazel eyes. You could see the stupid there.
Yeah.
You could really see it.
That's what happens. They get stupid, man. They get turned on, and you got to turn them off.
Oh yeah, and ain't no way the only way to turn them off really is you got to get it off, and you got to get them away. You got to get them away from it. As long as they can put eyes on it, that's their focus.
Exactly.
And that goes back to the dead game.
Yes.
You know, I mean, once that switch triggers, they're homed. That's like that coon dog on that tree. Once he triggers, that's where he's at. That's where he's supposed to stay.
He ain't coming off.
And he ain't coming off of it.
I've seen him about climbing the tree.
Yeah, and so all dogs is bred for a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
I think you're cheating that dog if you don't utilize it for its purpose, and if you can't utilize it for that purpose, like with the game dogs, you know, you can't go out here and just start fighting dogs and all that stuff, but you gotta give it an outlet. Like we said, like with the treadmills,
Yeah.
weight pools, dog shows, different things like that. Get you a spring pole, a flirt pole, work your dog, spend some time with that dog. You can take that dog and let it catch hogs, take it and let it be jump off a dock, swim,
Yep.
whatever, play
Yep.
fetch with it. But they gotta release that energy.
Yep.
And they gotta be used instead of just sitting on a chain or even in a house and just getting overweight. Because this, you know, you'll be fat, and some bitch be fat as I am, and can't get out here and do nothing.
Let's bring this into play real fast. All right, so we're talking about game dogs, and we're talking about dogs that are used to hunt game. All right, and they show it on TV. You got dogs that they use to hunt bears.
Yeah.
yeah, big
You got dogs that they use to hunt mountain lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and they're worried about putting a dog against a dog.
Yeah.
Now you putting a
Pound
dog.
for, but you take this in consideration. We're talking pound for pound.
Exactly.
We're talking pound for pound with dogs. Regulated,
Yeah.
match weighted.
Referees.
But what
handlers.
we're
Yeah.
talking about right now is we're talking about a bear
That
that weigh
you-
anywhere from 300 to 400 pounds
Or more.
and a dog that may weigh 60, 70 on a good day.
Yeah.
And then you got a cat, a mountain lion.
Yeah.
That's 150 pounds.
It weighs 100,
pounds.
200 pounds, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know the weight. But I mean, you sending that dog, that's like a kamikaze pilot.
Yep.
You
But he'll
send-
go.
But he'll go.
He'll
because
go.
He's game. That's what he's bred to do.
Walker dogs,
Yes, sir.
blue ticks. Hey, people get misconstrued on that too.
They got a TV show on there now to where a man don't do nothing but chase these big cats off people's properties.
Yeah.
I think y'all not gonna call the name of the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
but
we know the
you
show,
You
yeah.
know the
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
Y'all
Jake.
know the show too.
Jake does it.
But I can tell you, hey, I can tell you this. How come ain't nobody said nothing about that? That dog got cut wide open
Yeah.
on national TV.
Yeah.
Talking about cut wide open.
Well, that's like the
Bring out the
regulation.
suture kit.
Look at the regulation stuff you got on like just like the wild hog. I'm a hog hunter, so it's gonna
Me
be
too.
a topic. We can't have a hog that's alive in our
Exactly.
states. How are we gonna train these dogs? And then constantly game wardens, landowners. They're like, man,
Get them off.
get off of them. Get them off. Kill all the hogs you can. They're a nuisance, and they are. They
Yeah.
destroy thousands of acres, cost millions, billions of dollars even nationwide. But you go to a coon hunt at a coon hunting club. Well, they got coons in a cage.
Yeah.
Squirrel hunters, they got squirrels in a cage.
Yeah.
But if you read your rule book, and I don't mean the little game and fish book, go to article and section 220.2 in the state of Alabama. Start reading some of that stuff, and you'll be like, well, because legally you can't have any wild game. Any. But they don't say a damn thing about it. We all need to stick together. I mean, they have coyote pens, fox pens, and all that, and I'm good with it. I have no issue with it. The dog is doing what it's supposed to do.
Rabbit
It's
pens.
being trained for performance, but people see a beagle, like you said, at a rabbit pen, they're like, well, he's just running a rabbit.
Yeah.
Well, that rabbit can't escape. What if that beagle's a little faster that day? And beagles will catch a rabbit.
They
You know,
will
I'm
kill
not
them.
harping on no other dog men by no means. But now take away that squared circle, put in that octagon.
That's
You
right.
ain't got them 16-ounce gloves. Now
Right,
it's
you run a
around
4
the pounds. Now they take that elbow and just keep on right here until you split over. I'm talking about Superman punches, breaking noses, breaking eye sockets and shit like that. I love it. I think that shit ought to be in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I speak for me only. But because, like I said, what I was saying a while ago about the other types of hunting, like coon hunting and other stuff like that, I do it too. I have coon dogs. We have squirrel dogs. We rabbit hunt with some friends of ours. I got a lot of friends that bear hunt. I would never want to see their hunting restricted. It's regulated enough. But if they can regulate those, why can't they regulate the hog hunting part too? I don't get that.
They claim them to be a nuisance. All right. Now they are a nuisance to farmers. Don't get me wrong. They tear up a lot of crops. But you got to think about this too. Now you got wild hogs running loose. How many vehicles hit wild hogs every year?
Well, that's over in Adamsville. They had I don't know how many wrecks. Finally, they called on to it. Was like they put it on the news. They was like, we need people to come over here and get these hogs.
Exactly. You got all these. You got all these dogs. I mean, all
But
these
you
hogs.
can't do it because you can't hardly even train a dog
Because you can't get a hog.
because you can't have a hog.
That's
Unless you know somebody who already has a hog dog. If you're starting out fresh with nothing, I wouldn't even do it.
it's hard.
I wouldn't even do it myself.
And it's almost like the game business was.
Think that fan's still loud, Nate?
It's not good, terrible.
It's
As long as it ain't too
It's like,
bad.
Rocky, you vouch for this, it's like the game dog business. Back in the day, if you didn't know somebody in it,
You wouldn't get
you wasn't getting involved.
You
getting a puppy.
you got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
And that's just.
I'll tell you a story.
bottom line.
I'll tell you a story how I
I think saying
happened
let's get some
I'll
puppies.
tell you a story how I got a dog when I was real small. I was probably 9 years old. Maybe smaller than that. I got a dog off of a really, really good dog. And I mean really, really good dog. You know what dog I'm talking about. I've told you about this dog. I told you about this dog. I ain't gonna call no bloodlines. I ain't gonna call no game. I ain't gonna call no game. No names, nothing. But I tell you this, I got this dog because I picked Purple Hull peas. 5-gallon bucket at a time. The man told me I had to pick 7 or 8 buckets. I come to him with 6. He give me the dog anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
And to me, he instilled something in me
That's why we're still here.
that has stuck with me my whole life. And it was a work ethic. That I wanted that dog so bad. And this dog wasn't nothing, I mean, his mom and daddy was something special, but he wasn't nothing special because he wasn't 8 weeks old. But I wanted that dog so bad
That you did all that work.
that I went out there and I row for row till I got to 6 buckets. I couldn't, my hands was blistered. I couldn't really pick no more. But I was still trying, and I come to him with 6 buckets, and he was like,
There you go.
"Hey man,"
Because he's seen that you wanted it. That you put forth the effort. You were game.
and I had that. I was game. I had that dog. I had that dog for 12 years.
That's a long. And see, that's the thing about them.
And that-
They do live a pretty good long lifespan.
Look here, that dog was never matched.
Yeah.
Never matched.
Exactly.
That dog was my best friend. If I was in the woods with my 22 and my BB gun, he was right there with me. I was working for a best friend regardless of what he was.
Exactly.
I wasn't working for what he could be or what I could have made him. I
What
worked
he is.
because I wanted a friend.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the loyalty part we were talking about earlier.
Because where I grew up at, friends was few far in between.
But a lot of country boys, you didn't have y'all. You didn't have 10 little buddies come over playing Xbox.
No.
It was you and your dog.
That's it.
There's a lot of my story like Charlie's. I got one similar to that. I wanted one little black dog. Man, oh my Lord. Man, it's a whole nother level. This dog's name was Miss OJ, the Black Killer.
The Black Killer.
All right, so y'all can imagine when this dog was born, about around that era, about the OJ era. But anyway, no offense to Mr. OJ, but I wanted that dog, and I said, well, let me buy it. He said, no, when you put as much work into these dogs as I do, then you can have one. I fed, watered, exercised the dogs, worked around the dogs. I done my part for the summer, and I got the dog. And it was honestly, like I said, it was my best friend. The dog was never matched, never done none of that. Same deal. She just hung out with me. I mean, and I had so many memories of that little dog. It's just crazy. But like you said, you had to work to get it. The old school dog man wasn't just gonna give you a damn thing.
Ain't nothing for free.
Shit, no.
Nothing for free.
Even though they were really giving you the dog, because it really was.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, they were like, I'm gonna get this boy. I'm gonna let this boy get a dog. But he's gonna have to do something for it so I can teach him to be a man.
But they instilling it in you.
Exactly.
And stuff like that stays with you a lot longer than
You
anything.
don't have men like that now that's in their 20s. Very few guys that are young, they don't understand that. My boys do, and I ain't saying it comes to my boys, but that's the way I raised them. Like, ain't shit free. You gotta get at it. You gotta go. You gotta work.
You gonna earn it.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many outlets, and there's so many. I don't know. There's so many things that game dogs are responsible for, other than just fighting.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Know what's favorite dog?
yeah, what's
Like
your,
that's
yeah.
not your dog.
Yeah, it's not your dog. What's your
Like the old
that's-
school dog, you know.
Oh, you talking about the old bloodlines?
Yeah.
I'm a yellow man.
I've been saying, I know you all yellow.
I love that yellow blood.
Yep.
The only reason I love it so much is just because of what he stood for and how long he went. If you research that dog, he didn't hardly have a match under 50 pounds. Not only have a match under 50 pounds, but he also, every match he had until he became grand champion, he went an hour, sometimes more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gladiator.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is all past tense, by the way. We talking about stuff that happened in the 70s and 80s.
Game dogs of the past.
Yeah. Yellow's got to be my favorite. Yeah, I mean, just to me. I mean, that's my opinion. That's just me. What you like, Rock? Tell me what you like.
Well, I like Mr. Gary Hammond. I do.
You like him Hammond dogs?
Yeah, I like them Hammond dogs. They're tough. You ain't gonna hurt one of them. You ain't gonna hurt one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mr. Gary, he quoted one time just back in the 60s, or when he first started, messing with game dogs. He said he went to a match and he just watched that plumber's alligator dog. He said, you don't care what you done to him, you couldn't hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, do what you want to. And he was still going to come across there, so he was dead game. You couldn't hurt him. And first and foremost, he was a killer.
Yeah. I like Tudor's Dabo, Mr. Earl.
Oh,
Tudor Debo.
Yeah.
Oh, Debo.
I like the Dabo dog, and I like I don't know mine. I guess I like several. We all like several.
Zebo.
Yeah.
But they said he didn't produce
I
well.
like some of the Corvina stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of
I got
folks, you get back in that stuff, they're like, what? What are you talking about?
Old Corvinos.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Pulse
that
Age.
Bolio.
Yeah. Indian Bolio.
Now,
That Mason.
Patrick, I'm telling you, that's another dude right there. He got a lot of stuff. I like Davis's stuff. I like any Crane stuff. Hey, listen, if it's a game dog, I like it.
You. Now, as far as people, I ain't never had many of his dogs. Mr. Don Mayfield, I like his approach to his athleticism on a dog.
Yeah.
He put him up. When I read his keep, he sold me. He sold me on his keep. He gets to talking about how wild animals have a prey drive.
Mm-hmm.
And like an eagle or something like that will have a prey drive, and that eagle's real fat, and every time he goes down for that prey, he misses until he hones his skills good enough, and he slims some of that fat off of him until he is a true predator.
Until he can get there what he needs to do.
And then when he's that true predator, and it's only in that moment when he's
consistent.
that true that he's gonna be right.
Yeah,
He's going to be
He's
right.
gonna be there every time.
If you showed up and you was going to go into Mayfield, you better have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You better, because if you didn't have a dog and you was going into Mr. Mayfield, you're probably going to finna lose your little dollars. And that's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they'll say, well, on chain weight. Well, sometimes, I do. I don't match my dogs or anything like that, but I stay working them.
Yeah.
I stay working them.
They gotta work.
They keep them healthy, or they gonna get fat.
Yeah.
And I believe you're supposed to start one as a puppy. I don't think you should throw one on a chain for 2 years of its life, and then all of a sudden, just because it's game bred, in his blood, then say, okay, well, let's go match him. I mean, I don't believe in that.
You got hog dogs.
You got to lead them up to that.
You got to lead them.
I know a lot of guys that is 6 months old, and I used to be like that. 6 months old, I wanted that dog in the woods running.
Yeah.
But I want to take it out there, like you said, as a puppy, start showing it, messing with a hog skin or pig ear, messing with a little pig, whatever. Build it up to that. Then I'll pull it away for a little while, let it mentally mature.
Yep.
Then I'll put it out there again. Yep. I'll put it on something that I know it can handle. Yep. Build the confidence up. Mm-hmm. Hone the skills to where it's going to be consistent.
Yep.
Do that a couple times. then he's gonna do his job.
And that goes back to
like you said, don't wait until he's 2 or 3 and never done nothing. Just throw his ass out there because it's gonna be.
You're gonna put a training back in a bag.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
You know,
especially if it's against a veteran of any kind.
I bet.
That's like in big hogs. The people don't give these hogs credit.
Yeah.
All right? And when I'm getting on this hog topic, I'm talking about wild hogs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, people don't give them credit. You chase him 3 or 4 times. Now you might run up on that bay, and you may send that catch dog. And when you send that catch dog, he may get thrown. I've heard stories my buddies told me. They told me stories of them running up on a bay and seeing a dog get flipped 6, 8 foot in the air. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then
I've seen him come all the way out over the bushes and go right back.
Right back in, like he never missed a beat.
Yep.
In my opinion, that's also a definition of
the game.
That's what I'm saying. That's full gameness right there.
Yeah.
He's doing what game.
To me, there ain't nothing more fun and more personal than raising and training a dog to do exactly what you were raising and training that dog to do.
Yep. To make your hair stand up on back.
Yeah, to see the payoff at the end of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you take all that time you put it, and going back to the past tense with some of the dogs my dad had, my uncle had, my grandfather had. These dogs could win a match, and then take a 2-year-old youngin and be out there laying on the couch with him.
He pick him up by the diaper.
Pick him up by the diaper, bring him back up on the porch. Dog be out there laying in the yard, kids over there pulling on his ears, riding him like a pony. And I was one of those kids, messing with them, aggravating. They love the attention, the loyalty. But like you said, there's a switch.
Yeah.
It knows when to work, when not to work.
It can be hit.
It's all about the handler and the dog. If you got crazy ass dogs and you breed those crazy ass dogs to crazy ass dogs constantly, you're probably going to throw crazy ass dogs every time. Mm-hmm. But if you do through selective breeding, do your research, don't be a closed-minded idiot. Be an open-minded individual and try to learn. Like I'm learning from these guys here. If anybody out there has something that y'all want to throw in there, comment, email me, do whatever you need to do, get a hold of me and let me know something. I'd like to learn. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's the thing about it is real dog men are not shallow. You can't be that shallow. When you're spending between $50 and $150 every week to feed your dogs on medicines and then hours a day on time to take care of your dogs, you can't be just everyday dumbass.
Oh, no.
No, of course not.
No.
There's some clout behind it. And all of us dog men, we need to do this right here. We need to go meet other ones and talk to other ones, get their opinion, points of views on it, and let's all stick together on it. Whether you're a squirrel hunter, a coon hunter, a hog hunter, or whatever, if you use dogs to hunt with, everybody needs to stick together.
You need to start an association.
Yeah.
Dog Man Association.
Yeah, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
They got the Deer Hunter Association.
As long as you're part of the association, I believe you should be able to handle and raise your dogs the way that you want to be. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as felonies and things of that nature, the association shouldn't go against that.
Yeah.
But if you're raising your dogs to pull weight or to catch hogs or to catch coons or to catch squirrels or anything like that, I believe there should be an association for it.
Yeah.
And I believe
they do have them, but it's not a unified association. It's an individual performance association for each individual sport,
Yeah.
Let me check it out. I'm a journeyman iron worker. Mm-hmm. I'm a union hand out of local 477, Sheffield, Alabama. Mm-hmm. All right. And the union is strong. I mean, it's strong.
Oh, yeah.
By all means, it's strong. But the way that they do things is totally different. And I believe that an association like that should do things sort of like all the unions do. Mm-hmm. The unions stand up for their people. That's how all the dog men, all of them need to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they have fun. So, like, say somebody gets hurt or injured and they can't work, or they're waiting on getting their unemployment or their money or whatever to keep them going. They'll have a fund just for that, to help the brothers out, help each other out. If you could do that in an association like we're talking about, say the government come and ASPCA or whoever come and got your yard, and you were facing charges just because you had a game dog, not because you were doing anything, but just because the type of dog you had because of all the fake news and the
Propaganda.
the wrong information that's
You
being
know, I've
spread
sold
out
to
there.
doctors. I've sold to lawyers.
Exactly.
Lawyers, you name it. A couple bankers. I've sold to all these guys just because
There's so many people that have
I
pit
was
bulls.
go-
It's
I-
crazy.
that love this dog
There's
breed.
so many people that have pit bulls. There's probably more vets that own pit bulls than there's not.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh.
there's some that don't like them.
I've shook a man's hand when I was probably 11 years old, and he was a pretty high-ranking member
Yeah.
of an organization. I'm not going to call no names or say no names,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to let you know this. He more or less had to be voted in.
Yeah.
That's how that happened. I actually
Yeah.
shook his hand and met him, and we was at we'll say a rally.
Yeah.
We was at a
Get together.
yeah, well, it was a barbecue,
Yeah.
something like that. And I actually shook that man's hand, and he was actually there throughout the entire thing. But he was just as normal as everybody else.
Yeah,
But
one leg at a time.
But you'd have never expected it
Who it was?
because of who he was and the position that he
The
held.
position he held.
Exactly.
You know.
And to me,
Well, everybody's just people, like you said, one leg at a
one leg
time.
at a
that's it. All day long. And that's all we are at the end of the day. And these dogs that were being raised back in the day and the dogs that are even being raised today for the different purposes such as hog hunting and such as the gameness and weight pulling and things of that nature. For all it is, man, these are just dogs.
Yeah.
If you're a dog, man, you're going to love that dog at the end of the day, no matter what. Right, wrong, sweet, sour.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If you're going to put your life and effort into it, I know you do.
Exactly.
I hadn't fooled with dogs in buku years. All I do now is hog hunt. But I can tell you this. Look here, man. Any dog man worth his salt is going to put his heart and his soul into this. And when they put their heart and their soul into it, you're going to see it through that dog.
It's success. I mean, you're gonna see the success that they have. There's a lot of good kennels out there now, young guys that are coming up, and they really do put time and effort and money in their dogs. And then there's some I've seen, they're so full of shit, it ain't even funny. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I got on that topic earlier.
They trying to push these bloodlines and stuff, and like this dog's right off this one, it's off that. Man, them dog's been dead since I was 10 years old or younger.
Yeah.
You ain't pushing that dog.
Nah.
He might be 4 or 5 generations back, probably
12,
6
13
generations
generations
at
back.
least. You know, it's like,
Watered
but
down.
don't say your yard's based off of that when it's 6 gens back, because it's not. You got your own bloodline. Don't be bullshitting saying, "Oh, I'm running Jeep dogs." No, you're running your dogs.
Yeah.
Your dogs. Yeah.
You
You
do
raised
that.
them.
I don't give a damn what Jeep did. What's mine doing?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
I
right.
don't give a damn what Red Boy did. What's mine going to do?
That's right.
And I don't, like I said, what am I producing? Like I said, that just with the hog dogs, that's all I look for. What's the next one going to do? What am I looking at in 2 years? Not what am I even looking at today? What am I looking at in 2 years?
That's what I want to see. I like to see the dogs perform, especially hog dogs.
That's the saying. You know, it ain't the quantity you got; it's the quality you got.
That's right.
You know, you can have 100 dogs. If you got
If they ain't
100,
worth
if you
the
got
shit.
95 curs out there, you got 5 good dogs on
Exactly
your
what I'm
yard.
saying. If they ain't worth the shit, then they ain't worth the shit.
You know,
They'll get-
I'd rather have 15 good quality dogs than I'd had 100, 95 curs any day.
Go and get this out of the way too. If it ain't in that dog to do that,
He ain't
He ain't
gonna do
gonna do it.
that dog ain't gonna do
it.
it.
You will not make a dog
So
fight.
for everybody to say that their dog, or for
People making dogs.
people to say that
No.
they made this dog do that, they made him do
That's
that.
that's
It's
the way
either
will
in
come
that
out.
Dog, I've seen hog dogs, catch dogs. I've seen hog dogs go be supposed to be the best of the best. Go in there and catch every time. If he don't feel like doing it, he ain't gonna do it.
Exactly.
You can't beat him up and make him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. And if you could make a dog do that, I'd be a billionaire, because I could make any dog do whatever I wanted it to do. It just
don't happen like
it's
that.
I've
just
only ever seen one dog that was actually made to do what he was made to do, and that was an Australian Shepherd, and he was actually a cattle dog. But the man on the back of the horse could say, "Skid him up," and that dog he start rounding up the cattle.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as
But at that point, though, I mean, in the genetics of that dog,
it's there.
it's already pre-programmed to do that. He just pulled it out.
Yep.
He was like, "Look, this is what we're gonna do." And I like watching that kind of stuff too. That's
that's
watching the
interesting.
dog work.
Yeah.
There's a guy he's out in South Carolina. I think it's where he's in South Carolina. Got the outlaw curs. Mr. Randy, dude, it's a whole nother level. I'm talking about a whole nother. His dog. I watched all these champion bay dogs go in there and bay these hogs. Then I watched his dog one time. I literally wanted to cull my whole damn yard. It's another level, Nate. When he walks up there, this dog bays are perfect. But when his dog does it, it is perfect. This dog stands here and does it for 2 minutes. When his dog goes in there, if that hog turns, it's just like this. The dog and the hog work. The dog moves everywhere the hog moves. He stays however far. He whistles. One time a dog will go up. He'll back up. 3 times he'll turn him. Whatever. Never says a word.
That's training.
He's got 97 of them that'll do the same damn thing every time.
97 dogs.
97 dogs. And he's almost 70.
Grown dogs.
He said, was he 70?
97 grown dogs?
He's
Grown
right
dogs. He's got squirrel dogs too. He trains posse.
How old did Miss Ray say was it? He's in his late 60s.
They say he's
early
retired.
70s
That's all he
years old.
does.
Yeah, he's retired now.
Spring and summer.
He's built, like a younger man. I mean, this guy right here, he's like my hero, man. I'm telling you.
He's real
That's
quiet.
that-
He don't say much.
That's
With
a
those
man.
posse and stuff, they bring the squirrel to you.
Yeah,
They
when they
retrieve
see
him.
him, when they see him coming in, they're like,
Don't give him the money.
He brings a different dog every
is-
time.
yeah. But the thing,
Huh?
He brings a different dog every
Yeah,
time,
every
and they
time.
all place.
oh
every
yeah,
one of
they're
them
going to be
brings
in
a
the
different
finals. But here's the difference. I even said it to the judges, and I ain't knocking none of the judges, none of that. But I'm like, did you not see the same dog I seen? He tied with this one. He tied with that one. He tied with that one. Yeah, they all done this. They all bayed the hog perfect. The hogs stayed in thing. But he just did it better than perfect. I mean, his was another level. Your dog stood there. Oh, bark. And if the hog moved, your dog just moved a little bit with it or whatever. It's just, man, I'm just telling you, it's another level. And you can't get him. He won't turn loose none of them.
He said,
I wish he would.
He said, you might get a 3/4 full. He said,
wish
but
you would.
more like a half.
Yeah, Mr. Randy, if you out there and you watching this, you just let me know if you're going to turn loose 1 or 2 of them. I'll ride on out there. We'll take and get you a good steak, buddy up real good, and I'll drop a stack about this thick on you. Just let me know.
It might only be ones, but it'll be that thick.
Yeah, I didn't say what was in the damn stack. Nah, just kidding, but I'm
There's
not.
going to be some cold beers involved. We got the butter.
Be a bunch of damn cold beers.
Stack gets bigger the more you
Yeah,
drink 'em.
ain't no doubt. Well, everybody, like I said, this has been a pretty good little episode right here. We're gonna do a few more like this. Well, we're gonna try to do a whole bunch more with other dog men all across the place. And the dog men I'm talking about, I call them a dog man, you call them a dog man. They don't have to call themselves a dog man. That's because people know they are. You know, if you got to call yourself a dog man, you're probably not. You know what I'm saying? Just being real about it. So,
What old Sensu say? A fool talks because he has to.
Exactly.
A man speak when he wants to.
yeah, you damn right.
And that's the truth on dog, man.
It is. It's 100%. But we're gonna get
Some of
this.
us are smarter than others, and some of us.
Every day is a learning lesson.
That is
every
true.
day.
That's why I'm
Every
saying
day.
if you can't learn anything, then you might as well just go on and end it. Because
Yeah.
I mean, if you went as far as you can go, what's the point?
Yeah. If,
So-
if you on top of the game and you got no competition
Ain't
anymore,
no
it's
doubt.
over with.
Well, we're gonna cut this one off, y'all. Hey, Charlie, appreciate you. Mr.
Hey, y'all.
Rocky, appreciate you. We're gonna ride back to Alabama. Nate's got to get back to school today, but like I said, we're gonna do a few more little dealings with this man right here, and we're gonna try out some of them old game dogs he got.
Oh.
We're gonna see if they'll catch a pig on the ear.
I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would.
They make
I
good
wouldn't
ear
have.
You
drumming.
don't think they'd holler too much or nothing?
He gonna squeal to go.
It sounds like he's catching second gear.
Yeah, he
Get
gonna
on
squeal to
down.
go.
Like the power band.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Skeeting.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I like to see, though. We really appreciate y'all supporting us. Y'all subscribe, get some more folks to watch it. Y'all
Hit
keep
the like.
subscribing, hit the like button, do what all that. I don't know what a bunch of that shit is, but I'm learning.
Hit the
we're
bell.
a bunch of middle-aged guys we're new to this technology stuff, and I know y'all kids are laughing like hell at us, but you know what? I mean, hit right back at you.
Yeah.
Y'all come go hunting with us.
Hit the bell.
Yeah. Hit the bell. Hey, that's what you say. Hit the bell. Hit them on Instagram.
Hit the bell.
What was
Put
I
it
calling
out
that other one?
there.
What's that other one? Snapper Chat?
Snapper chat. Something. Yeah.
Now
What do you call it?
I've had Snapper Chat.
Instagram.
I said Instagram.
Instagram.
Now I have had Snapper Chat before.
Snapper chat.
Yeah. If you ain't never had Snapper Chat,
Oh, no, hold
Yeah.
on a minute. I
You
thought
know
you were
it.
talking about something else. Hold on a minute.
That's not me. Well, that's Snapper Chap.
Right, hold on, I think we might be talking about some shit fixed with a couple water pills and shot in the ass. I thought they called that the clap.
Well, I don't know. He come out with that mallet, and I was like, Doc, why both hands on my head?
Hold on,
He's
Doc.
like, you're the worst dentist I've ever seen.
What you got that rubber mallet for, boss?
That's it.
We ain't talking about this no more.
That's right. All right, y'all. We out.